What's up, everybody? I'm back, and this is going to be a reaction video to the NBA 75. This was done by The Athletic. They wrote a profile on the top 75 NBA players of all time, and I'm just going to go through and give my thoughts and opinions on this. I mean, it is very interesting to see how hundreds of NBA writers decide to rank their players based on a lot of reasons. So I mean, this article is only in the Athletic. You have to subscribe. It's like $1 a month. It's not too bad. But the Athletic's a great source for sports coverage. So shout out to them. I really like their NBA writers like John Hollinger and all those guys give great insights. So let's get into this. The NBA Athletic 75. So Lenny Wilkins, Robert Parrish. So the first thing that jumps out at me, it's funny that Dame made the list. He's number 68. Melo, 63. Dennis Rodman's ahead of him. Wes Unseld, Worthy. Monroe, Count. I don't see anything that bad, but the thing that jumps out to me is Tracy McGrady is ahead of Dwight Howard, and Anthony Davis is ahead of Dwight Howard too. That's very suspect. Let's look at Tracy McGrady's stats. So I'll probably pull up that on the screen for you guys, but T-Mac, comparing him to Dwight, he was a 7-time All-Star. He only averaged about under 20 points per game, 22 PR, 97.3 career win shares. He's a 7-time All-NBA. I don't know if they're first or second teams. I could confirm that. He's a 2-time scoring champ. He's in the Hall of Fame. But no rings. Career kind of cut short. He played from when he was 18 to 32. I mean, T-Mac's a good player. I just don't think he should be ahead of Dwight Howard, who's still playing in this league. Dwight's career averages are like 15 and 12. 140 career win shares and worse PR, but way more win shares because he played longer. He does have a ring, which he kind of rode LeBron and AD for that. But he's an 8-time All-Star, so one more than T-Mac. A 5-time rebound champ. A 3-time Defense Player of the Year. T-Mac has no awards, no MVPs, nothing like that. He did win Most Improved in 2000, 2001. Just looking at this. I'm going to look at Dwight's 8-time All-NBA, more 5-time All-Defensive. Obviously a much better defender than T-Mac. But the awards, I think Trump, T-Mac, Anthony Davis, but I'm just going to check McGrady's first. Okay, so he's a 2-time first team All-NBA, 2 times third team, and 3 times second. If we just compare that to Dwight Howard, he's a 5-time first team, 1-time second team, and 2-time third team. So no doubt in my mind, I think was a better player. He was really, I mean, T-Mac left the Magic, and once Dwight came in, they were able to make the finals in the middle of Dwight's prime, and he was easily the best center in the NBA, the best shot blocker, the best rebounder. That's why he won 3 Defensive Player of the Year. Prime Dwight was something else. He kind of fell off once he hit age 30, once he went to Houston. He hasn't been All-Star since, but, he's been a decent role player. I mean, he even had a good comeback season, sort of. When he was on the Hornets, he averaged 16 points in the 17-18 season, but I think he should be higher up than T-Mac. And if we compare him to Anthony Davis, another interesting player, AD, he's still playing. Obviously, he's 28, so he's got probably like 5-6 good more years left. He's a 3-time block champ, just like or Dwight's a 2-time. But AD did win that ring as the second option to LeBron James on that championship team in the bubble. He's a 4-time All-NBA player, so Dwight is doubling that. 4-time defensive for AD, and Dwight's ahead of that. But AD has no Defensive Player of the Years. 3 Defensive Player years in the middle of his prime. And AD left New Orleans, never really got out of the first or second round. And Dwight actually led his team to the finals, and they were a constant top 2 seed. I know he had a good roster around him, but pretty much their offense was Dwight Howard post-ups and kick-outs to shooters like Redick and Turkoglu and all those guys. I think Dwight's had a much better career than Anthony Davis. I'm not saying AD can't surpass him, but he's hurt so much. He's not going to make any NBA team, All-NBA team this year. He's hurt. The Lakers are bad. He has no Defense Player of the Years. I don't think Anthony Davis, we can put him ahead of Dwight Howard just yet. So that was kind of the first thing that jumped out at me. Paul Pierce here is number 50 on this list. It's kind of interesting. Kevin McHale, 49. Reggie Miller, Westbrook. Yeah, Westbrook's probably better than Gary Payne as the MVP. A lot of triple doubles. Whether you hate Westbrook or not, he's had a phenomenal career. Clyde, my Knicks, coming at 45, 44. Willis Reed right there. George Gervin, the Iceman, pretty underrated player. Elvin Hayes. Alvin Iverson's number 40. I feel like that's a little low. I think he's better than Bob Cousy personally. Bob Cousy, I mean, he was like one of the top options on that Celtics dynasty. I think he has 91 career win shares for Bob Cousy. Checking Allen Iverson. AI is 99, so he's more 20 PR better. AI's career averages, I mean, he's top 5 in scoring like all time, like career average 26.7. That gives me a lot of way better field goal percentage than Cousy, which is interesting. Cousy shot 37% from the field. He pretty much rode Bill Russell and Hondo to rings. I mean, he's a 13-time All-Star. That is more than Iverson. 12-time All-NBA. Or okay, actually maybe I might be wrong, guys. 12-time All-NBA. Let me see. But there wasn't that many teams then, so I'm kind of gonna knock him a little bit. It was just him. Him and all the whole Celtics starters were pretty much there. I mean, it's hard to compare. AI did play in a much better era. He does have an MVP award, which Cousy does not have. So, or no, does he have an MVP? He does. Okay, they both have an MVP. Which is kind of neat. I thought actually they both have 2 All-Star Game appearances, or 2 All-Star Game MVPs. So I mean, Cousy and AI, it's a toss-up. Allen Iverson, let's be honest, guys. I think we all know Allen Iverson would cross Bob Cousy up. He's probably a much better player. And his prime, I mean, it was only like 12 years. I mean, he didn't even play that long. And he led the Lakers, or not the Lakers, he led his Phillies Sixers against the Lakers in that crazy series where they lost, but he had that iconic step over Lou in that game. So Iverson and Cousy, maybe move Iverson up. You could argue Iverson's better than Patrick Ewing, who's there, number 37. Jason Kidd did win a ring. He's at number 36 with the Mavs in 2011. And Kawhi and Harden, I think Kawhi's really hard to rank here at 34 because he doesn't play that many games, and when he does, he shows up big. So how do we evaluate? He doesn't have not much longevity, but I do really like him. He's sort of in the top 35. He definitely deserves it over Ewing and Iverson. He has 2 Finals MVPs, 3-time first team, 2-time second team, which is very impressive, and 2 Defensive Player of the Years. He might be ahead of James Harden. I know James Harden has kind of been better for longer, and Harden plays most of the games. But we can't deny when Kawhi's on, he's one of the top 3 or 4 players in the NBA. It's been that way since he was on the Spurs. A career year with the Raptors, winning the championship. He's been awesome, and I think, I'm not mistaken, I don't know how many first teams Harden has. He has 7. He's a 7-time All-NBA guy, which 6-time first team. Okay, so that's like pretty much double what Kawhi is. But I think they're neck and neck. Harden's kind of a choker, and if you want true greatness, you would probably pick Kawhi Leonard on your basketball team, the two-way player, the defensive monster. And Harden, I mean, he's kind of falling off. I know Kawhi's hurt right now, but Kawhi, if he does come back this season, he could be a pretty good player. He's come back from a lot of injuries before. It wouldn't shock me if he's good for the Clippers if they're in the playoffs. So 34, 33, those are, I think they're pretty accurate rankings. I would have personally Harden a little higher in the top 30. Him and Kawhi both could be top 30 players, but Bob Pettit, I think he's severely underrated here at number 31. He's pretty much multiple MVPs. Yeah, okay, he has 2 MVPs, 11-time All-NBA, that's 11-time also 26 and 16, 136 win shares, 25 PER. Bob Cousy is a menace, and one of the best players in that Bill Russell era. He's one of the guys who could probably stop him. So he definitely should be there. Him and Pippen, 32 right there, one of the best sidekicks ever. I agree with that. I think he's in the top 32. And most people, like Skip, don't think Scottie Pippen was a top 50 player of all time. Well, guess what? The Athletic, they had him at number 32. So he's easily a top 50. John Havlicek here. Hondo, number 29, I think is severely underrated. I think 29 is a little too low for him, honestly, or 29. I think he could be in the top 25, maybe even pushing top 20. He's a great player, 131.7 career win shares, 20 points per game. He did play a while. 8-time defensive team. I hope Basketball Reference doesn't show me if they were first or second team. They just give me the... So he was a 4-time All-NBA first team, 7-time second team, 5-time first team defense, 5-time champion. That's a very impressive resume to me. I think that's definitely a better resume than Dwayne Wade and Rick Barry and Isaiah Thomas. Even Isaiah Thomas probably. It's a better resume than a lot of these guys. So I think that's a very interesting ranking. He probably got knocked for the era. I don't have the player profile pulled up in front of me, but yeah, Havlicek, number 29. That's interesting. So if we flip the page here, this is the top 25, the good stuff, the top 25 players. That's what you guys are here for. All the kind of controversial players. Stockton's at number 25. I personally, Isaiah Thomas is better than him. I think Dwayne Wade's better than him. They won championships as the first option. Stockton never won. I know he ran the MJ twice. All-time assist and steals leader. I'm not going to take that away from Stockton. But Hondo, Wade, Isaiah, they all have a more impressive resume to me. Even a Chris Paul, if he can pull out a championship this year with Phoenix, as he just got hurt for 6 to 8 weeks, I think Chris Paul, if he got a ring, maybe even a Finals MVP for that Suns team, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if that does happen, it's hypothetical, I put him over John Stockton, in my opinion. The rings really matter to me, and I think the Athletic, I don't know if they put that much stock into the rings for Stockton there, but I think Hondo should be a top 20 player. Giannis at 24. Elgin, number 23. Chuck, 22. I'm surprised he's this high. I thought people would be putting Giannis over Chuck. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but Giannis is a 2-time MVP. We saw him drop 50 in the finals, and he's only 27. He's not slowing down, so he'll easily be ahead of Charles Barkley and Dirk. He'll probably be the best power forward of all time besides Tim Duncan, because 5 rings and a 20-year dynasty for the Spurs. That's really tough to beat there. Dirk at 21, yeah, I agree with that. He's better than Chuck. David Robinson at 20, I think he's a severely underrated player, but I don't think he should be top 20. I think he should be maybe in the 25th. I mean he's good. Let's see, 178 win shares. 21 points per game, 10.6 rebounds, 8-time defense. Okay, defense player of the year, MVP. That's a very impressive resume to me. I think him and Hondo are close to each other. I definitely put him over Giannis for now, and Chuck and those guys. It's tough. These players are really tough to rank. I think maybe a little. I don't know. I think Elgin Baylor might be better than him, but Dr. J at 19, Moses Malone, I think he's a little too low. I think he should be higher than 18. I think he might be a better player than Kevin Garnett. Let's say that comparison real quick. Moses Malone, Moses. 8-time All-NBA, 3-time MVP. Garnett won 1 MVP, Finals MVP. It's the first option. Garnett didn't do that. 20 and 12. Yeah, I think he's better than Kevin Garnett probably. And Karl Malone, that's tough. Second leading scorer of all time in total points. Never won a ring, but he had a very impressive career. 14-time All-Star, 11-time first All-NBA. Karl Malone might be a little too low. 16. You could possibly put him ahead of Oscar Robertson, who's in number 12. I wouldn't call you crazy for that. Curry should be ahead of Durant for me. Pretty simple. Steph won a championship without KD. I know KD was the best player in the teams after when he joined, but I'm sorry, you can't join the best team and get the free rings. That's going to hurt your resume, KD. And if he doesn't do anything with Brooklyn and Steph gets to the finals this year, maybe even wins a championship, it's not looking good. Steph should be way ahead he should be a few spots ahead of Durant there. Jerry West, I'm sorry, I love the logo. I think he should be maybe a top 16 player. But, I mean, he averaged 27, but Steph Curry, great shooter, 2-time MVP, changing the game, 3 rings. Steph is going to finish, I mean, most threes made of all time. I can't forget that. There's no way that Steph should be worse than Jerry West, and I think Steph could be even the 13th or 12th plus player in this list. And the top 10 here, Kobe Bryant, number 10 there. Tim Duncan, I think, yeah, I agree with the Athletic. I think Tim Duncan is better than Kobe Bryant of all time. Shaq ahead of both of them. It's interesting. I do think Tim Duncan's better than Shaq. If you actually look at the stats, Tim Duncan actually kind of owns Shaq in his career. He has more rings, too. Just better career. Shaq kind of fell off once he went to Miami. Tim Duncan's the most consistent player of all time, probably besides LeBron James, for the longevity, and Kareem. So I think Tim Duncan's better than Larry Bird, too. Larry Bird's number 7. Wilt, I don't have a problem with this ranking. One of the best centers ever, I think he averaged like 30 in his career. You know what? I haven't checked Wilt Chamberlain's resume in a while. Let's take a look. 30 and 22. Yeah, I know he was probably playing against plumbers, but we have to give him a lot of credit. 247 win shares, 2-time champ, 4-time MVP. That's a lot of MVPs. Not many people can say that. Finals MVP, 10-time All-NBA. Yeah, and he even led the league in assists apparently one year, which is 1968. How many assists did he average that year? What the heck? 8.6. Apparently led the league in 1968. I'm very surprised by that, to be honest. I mean, he's one of the best passing big men ever, like Jokic, who's playing today. But Wilt is still a great player. I don't have a problem with him in the top 6 or 7, give or take. Magic Johnson, 5th. I have him in 5th or 4th. Bill Russell, I kind of disagree. Wilt Chamberlain might be a better player than Bill Russell all time. Bill Russell, 11-time champ, as we all know, the 11 rings, 5-time MVP. He did win one more MVP than Wilt. 11-time All-NBA. I mean, they both went head-to-head, and Bill won more championships because he had the better team. It's very debatable. But Wilt was probably a more talented player, I would think. And the top 3, completely agree with that. Kareem, LeBron, MJ, they're all there. So I think there was a lot of things the Athletic did get wrong that were glaring, like Anthony Davis almost being a top 50 player of all time. I mean, Kuzi, 39, that's a little weird. I think Hondo's way better than 29. Hondo should be, I think, literally top 20. He's better than Charles Barkley, too, I think. And Elgin Baylor. He's better than a lot of those guys. So, and Curry is not worse than Jerry West. So, I mean, this is a fun list to look at. You guys should comment down below what you think on this list on the screen, what they did wrong, what they did right, and what do you think of my opinions on where people should be. Just an interesting video. I thought I'd share this. The Athletic, really good article. I don't have time to read every profile of you guys, but this video is running pretty long. But there'll be another video on Wednesday. Just have to wait and see. Probably an NFL video. But I do think it's always fun as an NBA junkie like me to debate with my friends and debate with other people. The top 50 or 75 players. And I think the Athletic, it was fun looking at this. They did a pretty good job other than a few glaring holes. But thank you for watching this video. Just, of course, like and subscribe. And comment down below what you think, what would your top 10 be, or like some players that you think are too high or too low in the list. Peace.